Hello gainers, I'm Ralphie and welcome to my little channel in the internet called Fitter Philosophy, in which I discuss experience-based practical subjects, observations, removing the academic nature of philosophy as studied in the ivory towers of academia and universities and colleges, and bringing it into the real world really. And I just want to start by saying that I highly recommend one of these. This is a thermos mug. It works exactly the same way as a conventional thermos flask, except it is basically a cup with a lid. And the lid contains a panel which operates on a lever, you might see it moving there, which opens and closes it. Behind this is a valve which needs a bit of a clean at the moment, to be honest, so I'm glad I spotted that. Going public about it too. It basically keeps whatever in the mug hot. This is ideal for coffee because too many people brew themselves a really lovely, tasty, fresh roasted ground bean cup of coffee, and you know it's not cheap, and why should it be? Because it's a luxury consumable, and then are forced to drink it before it goes cold in a cup, in a mug, whereas in a thermos mug this will remain hot and very pleasant to drink for several hours. So it's ideal if you happen to be out in the car, and also if you have it sealed and you spill it or it knocks over, you don't get any losses of your coffee. Or it could be herbal tea, or it could be something a little bit stronger. I don't know. It's your decision, not mine. So I highly recommend. My life has been transformed since I invested, and it cost me £25. You can get them on eBay, by the way. And I'm not recommending a specific brand. Just get one that looks like it actually works. Say no more than that. And this brings me on to my main subject here, finding one that actually works. Something that I'm appreciating more and more is that I'm seen as someone by the younger generation to approach for advice. Not every young person approaches me, because many are just caught up in their own little world, and that's fine. I wish them well. But smart ones, when they're looking for advice and they're looking for perspective and they're looking for information, who do they turn to? The internet? Now, the internet's all very well, but sometimes to get the right information and the correct information, you have to invest a lot of time deep diving and researching to find out not what you want to know so much as what you need to know. This affects us all. I'm certainly experiencing this. This is why I never watch television and haven't done so for about 10 years now. Because the internet is a fantastic archive full of distractions. But even within the distractions, you find things you never knew about and you say, aha, I'm glad I know about that now. So for older people, as we get older, we accrue, before the dementia kicks in, but I think that's got a lot to do with nutrition and the ambient toxins in the environment. As we get older, we just become more and more of a memory bank. I've got friends like this, friends who are motorcycle engineers with phenomenal skills based on real and practical experience. I've got friends who are artists and musicians who, even as they develop, the strength of their signature and their style grows stronger over time, and they express themselves more singularly and more self-confidently in their music or in their art. And smart young people, they're looking out, and if they're smart, and generally they are, don't underestimate the younger generation. It's a more dangerous world they're living in, and they know it because of the psychological warfare going on and the gaslighting. Brilliant word, that. Gaslighting. You'll soon find the meaning in a quick Google search. And I get approached now and again, particularly at the gym, and it's not so much lifting advice that I'm asked for, although I'll give that. And I tell you what, an experienced lifter, particularly in the compounds, the squats, the deadlifts, and the incline bench, and the bench press, so much has got to do with the fine tuning that comes from experience, to know your own specifics of your body type and how you react and respond. And particularly for older people, see, weight training, it's just so good for the body and the mind. What is good for the body is good for the mind. And it helps maintain the integrity of your skeletal system and muscular system, which is the key component to actually holding the body together in the first place. And you see the failure of this as old people shrink and stoop and age without getting more aggressively proactive in preventing it, because they're too busy rushing back to the doctor's surgery. You know what I'm talking about. Controversial. It's thought crime, but hey, I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying. And it's heartwarming to me. I was approached recently by a young chap who was saying, he asked me this phenomenal question I've never been asked before. He says, how do you organise your life, Ralphie? And I've never thought about it that way. And my answer was simple: instinctively, chaotically, and rationally. Some of my life, I instinctively make journeys of discovery or do things instinctively. Chaotically, there are times that I'll go through the day and I've not really organised anything at all. And then other times I've actually got a written out list of what I'm going to do. And it's getting the balance between these three, getting that balance right. Because if you stick to having a list of things to do, you can find yourself distracted in life because of the dictatorship of this list. Also, when we have lazy days and chaotic days where we haven't organised anything in particular, we leave ourselves open to new experiences, whether we're browsing on the internet more than we should be, longer than we should be, and then suddenly we discover this video which is just phenomenal. And we would have never found it unless we'd been idling and wasting our time. So this is the way we organise. This is the way I organise my life, and I made it clear. Some days are anonymous, some days are highly impactful, and other days I'm basically getting on with the standard tasks and duties of cleaning, cutting, cooking, exercising, all the things that we need to keep doing just to have a basic balanced life. Most of our life is actually fairly bland, to be honest. There's very few people that have genuinely exciting lives, but the problem they experience is that they get so conditioned to the excitement that it's not exciting anymore. And then you can speak to someone who appears to have a bland life. They don't really seem to be doing much in life, and yet they have so much to talk about. And then suddenly they'll drop in, well, they're going to visit such and such a place because there's a specific museum there that they want to see, or a particular show on at a particular theatre. And you're gobsmacked because you never thought for 1 minute that these people would be doing these things. And that's part of the mystery of life. And the chaotic, wonderful absurdity, the genius and the catastrophe, the ongoing of the human condition. Do you know what? with a bit of experience in life. It's learning how to embrace it, make the best of it, and importantly, make it work as best it can for ourselves and also for the people around us that we care about. I'll leave it at that.